Capricorn. I'm going to be doing a self-love reading. These are general readings, so they might not resonate with everybody, but if I would like to do them weekly, so if you come back next week, you might find something that's more your speed. If you'd like to receive a free self-love reading from me, my email address can be found in the box below. And these are self-love readings, so they really are targeted to the person who's watching, to showcase areas where we might be able to show ourselves more self-love, compassion, authenticity. And so they might not be conducive to cross-watching. Let's get started. I'm going to do a 6-card spread, and then my 7th card is going to be your message from Spirit. I did shuffle a little bit before we started, so I probably give it like 1 or 2 more. And then I will be using the Sun and Moon tarot cards. If you haven't seen them, they're gorgeous. I'll show you them as we go along. And then to clarify, I will be using the Shamanic Healing Oracle deck. If you haven't seen them, they're also gorgeous, and I will show you them as we go. So in our first card, we're going to look, it's going to be how you feel about yourself right now, Capricorn. In the second position, it's going to be something that you need to prioritize more to feel more self-love. And in this third position, it's going to be areas where you might consciously, like you might knowingly not be giving yourself 100%. In this fourth card, it's going to be an area where you can allow yourself more authenticity, right? Where you can allow yourself to be more authentic. Yourself. In the 5th card is going to be something you need to let go of, pretty standard. The 6th card is going to be something you need to acknowledge, and then the 7th card will be what Spirit wants you to know. So here we go. In the first card, oh, this is like my favorite card in the deck. But it came out in the reverse, and I don't really usually read reversals, so we're going to see about it and then see if it fits into the deck. So this for me is 9 of Pentacles. And now I know that the 9 of Pentacles is supposed to be stability, right? But again, we look at this card, or we look at this card and we see that there aren't any pentacles in this card. So to me, I don't necessarily see like financial stability, but I see a grounded sense of stability. Here this guy is, and he's sitting in this unfinished arch, right? But he is completely content. He's in love with those sunflowers. He is so focused on them. He has everything that he wants in that moment. And here at the top of the card, sorry, it says gain. He has even more than he needs because he has enough to choose which ones he wants and then from some. So while it could be stability in the financial sense, I really feel like this is stability in a grounded sense. Because even though he has all of these flowers down here, he's only chosen a few, right? He didn't pick up the whole bushel. I love this card because to me, you have almost everything you need, but this whole top of the card is empty, right? So you really feel like in that moment, you don't need anything else, but there's nothing else in the card. So you do need more. There's more to the story. I love the colors. I love that it's a little guy with his sunflowers. I love everything about this card. Because it makes me think there's more. There's more. What more is there? But it came out in the reverse. So right now, it's entirely possible, maybe Capricorn, that you feel like you don't have enough. Or maybe that you aren't gaining enough. You're not moving forward enough. That's an easy way to feel. I mean, not an easy way to feel, but a very common way to feel. An area where you might need to prioritize. I'm already getting a message from this. Something you might need to prioritize more, okay, to help yourself feel like your needs are important, is this Hangman. Now, I'm a Pisces, so I love this card, but the Hangman is not someone who was forcibly put up in this tree. We can see that the Ankh is around his ankles, which is the symbol for life. So he's not up there because he's in trouble. He's up there because he chose this position. He chose to turn himself upside down to gain a better perspective. It's entirely possible, Capricorn, that you feel right now that you are in a area where you are lacking gain. So you're not making enough, or maybe you don't have enough, and that's how you feel. And Spirit is indicating to me with these cards that something you need to prioritize is your perception, your point of view. Maybe, Capricorn, what you really need to do is go and tie yourself to a tree upside down. Hang for a little while, all the blood will rush to your head, like an Etch-a-Sketch. Then it'll just shake out all those negative thoughts, and then you're going to get up and you'll be fresh and ready to go. Wouldn't that be cool? Wouldn't that be so nice? Just a new perspective. Sorry. And then an area where you might knowingly be falling short and Spirit thinks that you would do well to start picking up on is this Nine of Cups. Oh my goodness. Cap. This Nine of Cups, look at her. She is skippy, jumpy, happy. She's running all over her emotions. She's got no cares in the world, and she is happy. Spirit says, Capricorn, that you need to focus more on your happiness. It's important to acknowledge right now with the early stages that all of our feelings have a purpose. They do serve a purpose. We are not our feelings, and our feelings are not places that we live. So we don't live in happiness because while nice, it could get potentially irritating or boring, We have to have all of these feelings. We have to experience them all and let them all out. And Capricorns, I know that as earth signs, you are grounded most of the time. And I know that you are also focused on your stability, which is amazing and it's great. The rest of us really love and depend on that, especially earth or water signs, because that grounding, that ability that you have, super sexy. Oof, love it. Okay. But I also know that earth signs have a really hard time just relaxing, letting things go, running, dancing, skipping for joy, being happy. We have to integrate all of those parts of ourselves. That's part of self-love. We talked about being authentic, right? And we all have multi-dimensions. We all have multifaceted, or we're all multifaceted. We all have aspects of ourselves, planes, dimensions, right? Depth. And in order to accept ourselves the way that we are, we have to be able to look at those surfaces of ourselves, those different dimensions, and decide for ourselves what parts we like to nurture and what parts we don't like as much. We have to embrace all the aspects of ourselves. I myself am not good at math. I'm not even good at counting. Fractions? The fuck? What is that? Why? I mean, anything that I count won't be in fractions. I have 52 cards. I have like 70 bags of tea. Like, I'm never going to use fractions. But that is a part of myself that I have to look at and I say, it's not great, but that is a part of me. I accept that about myself. I openly share that with people. But there's lots of things that I am good at. And so I embrace those things too. And Capricorn, what I'm hoping for you is by the end of this reading, you're going to embrace your own happiness, okay? Because you work hard, you deserve to play hard. You deserve to accept all aspects of yourself, which leads us to this fourth card, which is really about areas where you can allow yourself to show more authenticity, which literally just means taking those parts of yourselves that we might remain hidden and showing them, letting them out, because that's more of who you are, right? So maybe we are 100% ourselves, but we only show 75% of ourselves. This is another area where you can just showcase a little bit more. Oh, Capricorn, all right. So, Spirit is encouraging you to showcase more of your Emperor. When I think about the Emperor, I always think about, like, sexy dad. I just mean that, like, he's in charge and, like, he knows what he wants and, like, he would go after it and he would get it. And, he might not even go after it himself. Like, if he knows exactly what he wants, he probably knows where it is, probably knows the best person to go to get it for the job, and then he'll send that person out and that person will bring it back to him, because this is a man who's in control. He rules from his throne, right? Here he is less of a man and more of a teenager. But you see right there in his hand, you see that? That's not a Game Boy remote. That is the world, okay? This means to me, the emperor is somebody who's in charge, not only of themselves, but the people around them, right? So I feel, Cap, that maybe you have a lot of this boss energy, but maybe you feel like you can't express that. Maybe you feel like you can't express your happiness. Maybe you feel like all you can really do is just grind, try to gain and gain and gain and gain more of this stability, more of these pentacles for stability, right? So maybe here, Spirit is encouraging you to showcase more of that sexy dad energy that you have and be more assertive. You can say, I don't have to work all the time. I can be happy if I want. Damn it. Something you have to let go of. Well, I don't know. Now we have the Eight of Pentacles. The Eight of Pentacles in the traditional tarot deck is all about mastery, right? It's about getting better. It's about working on your craft to get to the point where you are really good at your job. And here we see the Eight of Pentacles. She's pulling down these fruits. I think they're fruits, or maybe they're flowers. But at the top of the card, it says prudence. And prudence to me doesn't necessarily mean not wanting to do stuff. It just means being really guarded about what you want to do, your willingness to do things. And if you are too much of a prude to hop, skip, and jump all over these emotions and these teacups to let out your happiness, well, that's not balance. You have to find balance. Self-love is all about our daily habits because we learn patterns of behavior as we grow, right? Trauma or whatever. And then we get to this age where we're watching this video now, and we carry all that with us, past, present, into the future. And so we have to be able to embrace all aspects of ourselves. But something we need to acknowledge here is the Four of Cups. Okay. So the Four of Cups. I really like this card. Okay. I just want to... So the lotus here is supposed to represent purity. And the moon with the reflection on the water is supposed to indicate integration. But you see how there is part of herself in the reflection that isn't shown. We can see the cups in her hands, and we can kind of see the start of her arms, but we cannot see her head. Okay? I don't get the sense that this is a message from the universe. I get the sense that this cup up here is part of yourself that you have yet to embrace. And that's why there isn't this full reflection. The Queen of Cups, she is the only card in the deck whose full reflection is showcased. So what is it about yourself, Capricorn, that you are not embracing? Is it this happiness? Because here we have twice now that you need to take a different, more needs to be taken in, right? So we have the Hangman, who's all about perception and perspective. That's really about change and perspective. And then we have now this Four of Cups, which is, I said, was, something that you're not acknowledging maybe about yourself. And that's not very clear because this is where this card should be, is where you should be acknowledging. So there is something about yourself that you need to integrate. Something you need to let go of is this sense of prudence. Okay, just this willingness or this unwillingness to do something. And Spirit's calling you to be more authentic to yourself by being more authoritative, showcasing that power that you have. And the message they have for you is this Prince of Cups. You got a lot of cups today, Cap. Capybara. So his chariot is being drawn by a dolphin. It's the way that they, oh, you can see the little eyeball, but in the way that they did it, he kind of reminds me of an armadillo. Like, if you just saw him like this, you'd be like, oh, it's an armadillo. Anyway, he also has a lotus, you see. This Prince of Cups is much like a Knight of Cups. And they often bring news of emotions or love, right? Oh, he has his little cup. Look at that. He does have his little cup. I think there is a snake coming out of that cup. I think that's a snake right there. I don't know if you can see it. My camera's really good about adjusting, but that was pretty close. So some kind of message is coming. Let's go ahead and clarify. Let's see this. I actually am going to leave this Nine of Pentacles in the reverse just because it kind of does go. So if you are in a period where you feel a sense of lack or a lack of gain, Spirit is indicating that you might want to change your perspective about that. You have unlimited possibilities. So maybe right now you feel like you aren't succeeding in one area, but there are many areas. There are many things to try. There are many branches, offshoots, lots of different possibilities, okay? So maybe you're focused on one sense of gain, like maybe you really are focused on just these sunflowers, but then there's all kinds of flowers that you could have to gain stability. That's just an analogy. It doesn't necessarily have to be flowers, but in your head right now, you might be feeling this sense of lack. But Spirit is saying don't worry because, you know, if you're feeling like you're lacking one thing, you could be completely abundant in another thing. Ascension. It's entirely possible that this mindset that you have right now is blocking your ascension. We all want to move on, right? I mean, that's kind of what I watch tarot for in the first place, is to get a better sense and understanding of like where I am, my purpose, and how I can just move forward. I want to ascend. I'm a Pisces, and they say that like Pisces are on their last trip around, like their soul has done all of their 12 houses, and so now when I finally die, I can just leave this world behind. I'm excited about it. I don't want to do it again. I don't. So my ascension, leaving. Okay. So we said you're lacking this mindset, or this, you have this lack mindset. And that changing this mindset, viewing the unlimited possibilities that you have the power to create, will lead to this ascension. But I also believe it's this change in perspective. Okay, maybe a change in perspective will lead you to more sexual energy. Maybe that could be where your energy needs to be put towards. I'm not really sure about that card. It doesn't really fit the spread. Well, sexual energy and then feminine energy. That's interesting. So there's a perspective here that needs to be changed. And it could be around your sexual energy or your feminine energy. I know that a lot of people tend to be kind of tight-lipped about sexuality, but that's just another area of yourself that you have to embrace. Some people like vanilla sex. That's totally fine. That's just who you are. Some people like that kinky stuff. I mean, you do you, whatever you're into, but understanding that that is an aspect of yourself and that you are allowed to embrace it and that it's not dirty or shameful and you don't have to be married to enjoy it, and you know, that's just another aspect of yourself that you have to embrace. Maybe you also need to take a look at your feminine energy. How are you allowing that into your life or out of your life? Because the Hangman calls for a different perspective. Now, we said that something that you might be aware that you're not prioritizing, or something you know that you might not be giving yourself the most, we said was allowing yourself to be happy, this happiness card. Spirit wants you to focus on being happy because the card that clarified that is Ancient Wisdom. I think the ancient wisdom is the wisdom of the trees, right? And trees, the beautiful thing about trees, they can't move. So they have very little control over themselves. But I feel like with trees, no matter what the obstacle, they move through it, right? They push through it. So like if there's rocks in the ground, those roots will just pummel right through those rocks. If there's sidewalk, the tree will grow through the sidewalk. I've seen trees build themselves into and off of mountains. Trees will go through whatever they have to go through to grow. I feel like trees also don't ever have any kind of idea of what it is they're supposed to be. And then because of that, they can turn into whatever it is they can be, which is really unlimited possibilities. They have all of these branches and such. And growth, ancient wisdom and growth, right? Allowing yourself to be happy, integrating that other aspect of yourself, maybe even your sexual energy, it will allow you to grow. And, I mean, not always, but sexual energy can lead to happiness, right? If we're unleashing it in the right time and space with the right people. You never know. I'm just saying, you never know. An area where Spirit said that you could showcase more of your own authenticity is with this control, okay? I'm just making a small connection here. Just this really small connection, just a side note. So the Hangman did indicate that you needed to change your perspective towards sexual energy and how you're feeling this feminine energy. And so maybe one of the things you could change your perspective on with this sexual energy is letting go of this need to feel feminine and embracing this need to feel masculine. You know, gender is on a spectrum. We have more than two sexes, but the way that people think about it is we have males and we have females, but in between, we have gender, right? And so a woman can be very masculine if she wants to. If she wants to, she can. And if she finds a man who embraces that, even better, right? And men can be as feminine as they want. And if they find someone to embrace that, even better, because our sexuality is just another aspect of who we are. It's nothing to be ashamed of. Don't ever let anybody tell you that, because that is definitely, hands down, like, will just cut off your self-love. It'll just cut it off. No one can tell you who or what to love. Well, just be careful about what you love, I guess. There was that horse in that. It's just I'm just kidding. Not really. Okay. So we said to embrace more of this emperor, this sense of control, this sense of you are the boss of your life, right? Use discernment here. So whatever power you're trying to embrace or maybe take back or even acknowledge, use your discernment. I feel like we should all always seek to be more discerning, to really stop, look at what's going on around us, figure out how we feel about that, and then respond. Because a lot of the time what happens is we don't really focus on what's happening, we just focus on how we feel, and then we respond. We react. So try to use your discernment. A new day. So we have all this sun energy, which always indicates to me in the first place a new day. But embracing this aspect of yourself, allowing yourself to be more authentically assertive, will lead to a new day or new feelings for you. We said something to let go of was this prudence. Oh my God, Cap, is like your entire reading about sex? No, I wasn't trying to say that in the beginning, but you never know. Oh my God. Dirty. So naughty. Okay, so maybe you're feeling this sense of lack about perspective, where you feel like you I don't want to put words into your mouth, Capricorn, but I am going to read what I see on the table, okay? So here you have this sense of lack, but there are unlimited possibilities. If you change your perspective towards your sexual energy about feminine energy, maybe you feel like you want to be more dominant, but you're prude, but you're scared, but you're not willing to try. You can be whoever you want, Capricorn. Don't worry about it. I support you completely, okay? But maybe you feel this sense of prudence. Maybe you feel this sense of like you need to be shy or you need to be careful. You should be discerning, right? But don't be unwilling. Emotional release. Emotional release. Okay, so I'm not really sure what that would have to mean, but I feel like if you're letting go of some feelings, like an unwillingness, that might be hard, and that might be coming with some kind of emotional release. Or another kind of release, Capricorn, yeah. Let's see. Emotional release and letting go. Well, Cap, what do you have to get rid of? You know, I always think with this card, the dark bird and the light bird, right? And then the sunlight. I always think of this duality. The birds don't have to let go of the branch. They have to let go of this idea that they're separate from each other. Okay? Because we said that gender exists on a spectrum, masculine and feminine, not male and female, right? Masculine and feminine. Those are concepts that don't really exist. I'm sorry. I don't know what else to tell you about that. But like if you look at gender here in America versus gender in China, right? It's different. It's different. When you look at masculine and feminine energy, it's just energy. It doesn't belong to one person or another. So Capricorn, really, if there is something that you want to let go of, if you want to let go of this feminine energy and embrace this masculine energy, that's just duality, babe. You're just accessing more parts of the universe, right? If anything, people should be jealous because you can move so fluidly between the two. Let go of this sense that things are separate, because so many things are not separate. So many things are, in fact, the same thing. Actually, think about it like everything's the same thing because we get energy from exactly the same places. Conservation of energy. Matter is not created or destroyed. You can only take what you have from whatever. So we're all made of dinosaurs. We're all the same thing. Don't worry about it so much, Cap. Okay? This Four of Cups. Something you need to embrace. There's an aspect of yourself that you're not really paying attention to. But that aspect, we said, remember, wasn't fully revealed to us in the Lotus. Up at the top, I don't know if I talked to you about this, but it says luxury. It's a luxury to embrace all aspects of ourselves. We should be glad that we have the capability, the capacity to do that, the ability now. Because think if we were in like 1970, you couldn't embrace these things openly, but we have that luxury today. So I think that Spirit is really encouraging you to embrace whatever aspects this is that you want. Okay? Look at these cute little butterflies, right? This card says joy. What kind of joy are you going to have, Capricorn? I'm going to need somebody to email me after this and be like, girl, let me tell you the story, because I want to know. If you embrace this aspect of yourself, it will bring joy into your life. It might require some kind of emotional release or letting go. So let's say, Cap, that you are a girl, right? Just because of the way that this is filled out, but you could be a man too. Let's just say that you are somebody who wants to move away from feminine energy. Not that there's anything wrong with it. It just doesn't embrace, or you don't feel it the way that you think you should. And so you feel like you need to move more towards a masculine energy that feels authentic to you. Be yourself, do you. If you are with someone right now who doesn't appreciate those aspects of you, well, I'm really sorry, but in love, we don't get to pick and choose what parts of people we love. You either love that person or you don't. You can not like the fact that they chew with their mouth open, but you don't love them less because of that. Okay, just maybe like a little bit less, but not like a, you know, a quantifiable amount. People don't get to pick and choose you. You pick and choose you. You get to say, this is part of me. This is something I embrace. This is something I accept about myself because I love myself, because I have self-love, because the self-love shaman told me that it's okay to be who I want to be. You can't pick and choose. You don't get parts of me, okay? I'm just saying. It could bring you joy. Did I not just say this? And self-love. Oh, Capricorn. I really hope that whatever this message is, however this is resonating for you, you really take it seriously, because look, embracing that aspect of yourself will bring you joy and self-love. Get it, girl. Or man, boy. Do you say that? Like, do you say, get it, boy? Because then you say, get it, girl. Not like get it, woman, but like, get it, man. Like, get it, boy. Get it, boy. Whatever you feel like you need to embrace for yourself. That's the point, right? Because Spirit says, ooh, okay, so maybe what you're afraid of is that by moving away from this particular feminine energy towards this more masculine energy, you feel like there's something you're going to have to let go of. And there might be this emotional release, which could be tears, you could be sad. But Spirit wants you to know that even if the person that you were with right now doesn't respect that, or even if you're afraid that people in the future won't respect that, Spirit is saying, in the future, there is love, a love opportunity coming with this Prince of Cups. It's coming in on a dolphin too. I mean, that's fucking romantic. I don't care. I don't even care. Spirit says don't worry about it. Okay, Capricorn? When I thought to do this, I never would have thought in my life that this would be a reading that I would be giving. So Capricorn, thank you. Oh, snap. We said that there was a love message coming to you, girl. This is reunion of souls. Quite interesting. I have no idea what this is about, but maybe through this embrace, you're inviting someone else in who might not have responded to the energy that they were supposed to have, right? So if you feel like, I might be feminine, but I don't want to have that feminine energy. I really want to embrace more of this masculine energy. Well, maybe there's somebody out there who is supposed to act like a masculine energy, but wants to be more feminine. And you acknowledging and embracing that aspect of yourself is going to help them embrace that aspect of themselves. Oh, I fucking love it. The universe is amazing. Just to reiterate, just to recap, this all has to do with our perceptions, right? Yeah. Gender is a social construct. It's a perception. It doesn't fucking exist. I'm really sorry. I know I've sworn like twice now, but I'm just so like fired up by this reading. Oh my God. Okay. So I'm going to leave it there, but I am going to do like just a little recap. So Spirit says right now, when we pulled this card, that you're in this lack mindset, right? There's something there that's not finished, right? I said there's more to it. I love this card. There's more to it. There's more to you, okay? And this perception of maybe who you're supposed to be or how society thinks that you should be, there needs to be this change, because twice now you've gotten the Hanged Man and perception, right? It's our perception. And again, the yin and yang, the duality, right? There is masculine in feminine. There is feminine in masculine. Really, this line should be not even there. Like, it just should be not, it should just be blurred. But here are these two changes in perception that will lead to happiness. Oh my God. Remember we said happiness, we said integration, right? Accepting that one part of ourselves, self-love, and joy. Capricorn. I really hope you make these changes. I hope that they're not too scary for you. I hope that this is something you feel like you need to do. If this has been your sign, if you were waiting for someone to encourage you, this is me doing that, okay? Because I really feel like the universe is telling you that if you embrace these changes, there will be joy, there will be happiness, there will be this new day. Oh, we had that card too, this new day. Okay, Capricorn, I really hope that helped. You have a good one.